It is Sunday, May 4th, 2025, and on this week's edition of Sunday Sofa Time, we're talking about an all-you-can-fly pass that seems like an amazing deal, but is it?
Just like the wind, just let it pass through, just let it pass you.
Welcome back to the very unofficial travel guides. I'm Morgan. I've been making travel videos for over 15 years of popular and not so popular tourist destinations to give you a very honest, unofficial look at what it's like to be there. I've also written 2 books of travel stories. My newest, Places Please, includes not only stories about my life and the places that my career in musical theater took me, but there's also travel and restaurant tips for places like Miami, London, Chicago. So for instance, on page 116, there is some information about my favorite Mexican restaurant in London, where I once went to eat with Emma Cruises, and she was forced to pay for 9 tacos that she didn't even order. I know, that should technically make it my least favorite Mexican restaurant, but I'm just a sucker for nachos and guacamole, I guess. If you like to read and want to give me a little extra support, check them out on Amazon now. Okay, just yesterday I was scrolling on Facebook and I found a post from another travel content creator about this Go Wild Pass from Frontier Airlines. Frontier Airlines is a discount carrier that is based in the US but also flies to some international destinations. You can see here on this map, these are all the places that they fly to. Plenty of really interesting places to visit, and also some place that you might have friends or family that you haven't seen in a while. But yeah, places like Miami, Orlando, Las Vegas, there are some really interesting destinations, especially for people interested in cruises like I know a lot of you are. And I don't know if this is new or I just haven't heard of it before, but I want to go to the website now, learn a little bit more about it, show it to you as well, and then let's sort of take a deep dive into if this is really a good deal or not. So I have the Frontier website pulled up here on my laptop, and if you scroll down a little bit, it's this here. It's called the Go Wild Pass. Let's learn more. Go Wild, all-you-can-fly pass, and they have different versions of this that we'll look at in a second, but in general, you get for a flat fee an unlimited number of flights, access to Frontier's domestic and international destinations. Unfortunately, they don't fly to Germany or Europe yet. I don't know. Well, not now, but they fly to places like Dominican Republic and Mexico. Here's where it starts to get interesting or tricky. It says you can get confirmed bookings the day before flight departure for domestic travel and starting 10 days before flight departure for international travel. So this means if you get this pass and you want to fly with this pass, then you have to be really flexible because they will only let you book 1 day before the flight leaves if you're flying inside the United States. And if you're flying to one of the international destinations, then it's 10 days before. So that means you could be planning a trip, have everything set up, and then the day before you want to fly, there's no seats left. That could probably be, I think, for a lot of people, especially people who have like a 9-to-5 job and have to put in a vacation request several months in advance. Of course, this is probably not going to work for you. But if you have a little bit of flexibility, I still think this sounds like a very interesting possibility. Let's continue here. It says you can plan ahead and book select flights early. Simply search and choose Go Wild when available. A Go Wild early booking charge may apply. So it seems like there is a possibility to get a little bit more security, but then you're going to pay more on top of that. And if you book with your pass, it seems like you still collect miles, so that's good too. All right, let's look at the different passes. There is an annual pass. It says here at the moment it's $599 for an entire year. These are US dollars. There's a summer pass, which is $399 for the period between May 1st and September 30th. And then there's a monthly pass, which is $0 for the first month plus a $99 enrollment fee. And all these passes renew automatically if you don't cancel. So watch out for that if you do sign up for this. And of course, with everything like this, it's important to read the fine print. So I scroll down a little bit further here, and these are some things you should know. The first part of this talks about what I already read above in the website about you can book 1 day before or 10 days before, depending on where the flight goes. Now, here's something else that's very interesting and may be a deal breaker for you. There are blackout dates. And when I first read through this for 2025, I thought, okay, that's a lot of blackout dates. But I set up a calendar, and because I'm a visual person, I needed to see exactly how many days this is in the year. So if you look here from May, which it is now, till the end of 2025, it's actually not that bad. There aren't really a lot of, I would say, unexpected blackout dates. So, around Christmas, of course, you're not going to get a good deal from anybody flying anywhere around Christmas, but there are a lot of other times where there's weeks at a time with no blackout date. It also says here that flights do not include any add-on products, like if you want to bring a bag or reserve a seat, so you're still going to be paying extra for those. And there is a fee or a fare of 1 cent charged every time you book a flight. And this sounds like something to me that is like necessary, like there must be some regulation that you're not allowed to just get on a plane for nothing. I don't know. It seems like 1 cent seems to be so. 1 cent? Really? Why? So that must be to satisfy some kind of regulation, I think. I'm sure somebody out there knows more about this. Please let me know in the comments. And here's another thing that is going to make this not interesting for a lot of you watching this. It's only available to residents of the United States. You have to be 18 or older to purchase one, but you can, the way I understand it is like if you're a parent and you want to be taking your kids with you, you can purchase one for the kids, but just the person buying it has to be 18 or older. Okay, the next thing I want to do is just kind of go through what a normal flight on Frontier would cost and compare that to how many times you would really practically be able to use this pass and see, is this really a good deal, or maybe does it just seem like a good deal? And we're gonna do that right after this commercial break. Did you get one? What was it about? Write it in the comments below. Wouldn't it be wild now if it was a commercial for Frontier Airlines?
They're listening. They're always listening.
All right, if we focus on this summer pass from May until September, I'm gonna pick a couple destinations that I know that, like, if I was still living where I grew up in Minnesota, I would be using this to fly to Orlando, to go to the theme parks. I would be going to the theme parks and Miami to go on cruises, and I'd probably be going to Las Vegas a few times too. So if the pass for May, June, July, August, September, 5 months costs $399, let's see, what does just a normal flight, if you don't have this pass to Orlando on Frontier, cost? Oh, okay. I'm surprised by this. I thought that they were usually a little more affordable. And honestly, I don't have the blackout date calendar pulled up here, so maybe these are blackout dates anyways. But just, I picked some random dates in the middle of June. And it looks like the basic fare is already over $400. So that makes the price of this pass, if you can use it twice, you're already saving a lot of money if you want to fly with Frontier. Let's look later in the year, so like not in the middle of summer vacation. And let's fly to Miami and get on a cruise in like November. Yeah, so it looks like the basic fares starting at $300. Oh, of course. Wait a second. This is with a stop in Denver. Flying from Minneapolis to Miami via Denver, probably not going to do that. But just for the purposes of figuring out if this is going to be a good deal or not, it looks like flights on Frontier, at least to some of these destinations, cost around $300, $400 for round trip without a seat and without a bag. And so to me, this does sound like a really good deal. And honestly, I hope that this catches on. I hope that Lufthansa or Air France or whoever over here in Europe sees this and thinks,
Let's try this too.
there is something comparable to this with the German rail system. It's called the Deutschland ticket, which translates to Germany ticket. That was tough to figure out, wasn't it? And so for a flat fee each month, and it's not that expensive. Hold on, let me find out how much it is. 58 euros a month, which is really like nothing. And it's good for any public transportation system within the cities in Germany. So all the U-Bahns, the buses, the Straßenbahn, the street trains in Berlin, Hamburg, Munich, Stuttgart, Hodenhagen, and also a certain class of the longer distance trains. So technically, you can buy this pass and travel all over Germany, like unlimited amount for the month that you have it. Just not with the super fast and the super fancy trains. And I use it just because we've been going back and forth from Hamburg to Berlin so much this year, and it's just nice to know, all right, I can jump in any bus, any underground train while I'm there or here, and don't have to worry about buying a ticket in advance. This is the only thing that I've ever used that I think is somewhat similar to this offer from Frontier Airlines. But of course, when we're talking about a train ride within Germany, that's way different than flying from Miami to Los Angeles. And so now that you've seen this, I have a couple questions for you. First of all, did you know that this existed? Is this new? Have you used this? Also, now that you've seen this, do you think you might use it? Like I said, I know if I was living in the United States right now with the amount of flexibility that I have and with doing what I do, I would have bought this yesterday. And also, I think if you are a parent, a grandparent, this is, of course, a somewhat expensive. However, I think this is an amazing gift you could give to somebody, especially somebody who just graduated and has the summer off before they go to school or the summer between semesters. What an amazing travel-related gift that you could give to somebody. Last week here on the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, I wrapped up my coverage, my footage of my journey from Stockholm to Helsinki and back. These 48 hours I spent on the Silja Serenade ferry. And in just a couple weeks, I'm leaving for a super exciting cruise on the Norwegian Viva that starts in Turkey, ends in Greece, and we have an overnight stay in Egypt. So if you want to see more about what that experience is like, then make sure you're subscribed and check back here soon. Thanks for spending this part of your Sunday or whatever day it is you choose to watch this with me. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. See you soon.
Just let it pass you.